I won't make apologies for the state of my desk. We're all friends, right? So let's just get into it. Hey, it's Kim. Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be going over my lineup for 2025. And I clearly have all the things out because I was also going through my 2024 review of like my entire planner system. So I was kind of thinking through all of that, and then here's where we are. So we'll just get into my planner lineup. And I will say that there are a couple of videos already where I've shown and gone through setting up some of these. So I will let you know what those are. I will also have those linked up in the cards, and you can find them on my channel if you want additional details about some of these that I've already set up. So I like to think of my life as a business. We're like an organization, and my planners kind of help this to stay like a well-oiled machine, a company that is running extremely well. And I laugh because is that true? No. Some months we look like we have it all together. We absolutely do not. Many months we are just struggling to kind of keep it together. So I like to still think that it's a work in progress at all times. And that's why we have to make adjustments from time to time, adding components to the system, taking some components away. And then there are some that are just tried and true, will always be there, and we can count on them, right? Those are the die-hard employees that you always will be confident that will show up and stand out amongst the rest. I don't know why I'm making references to companies. So let's just dive into it. The first one I have in my lineup, which is exactly that for me, like that die-hard employee who does a great job of holding everything together and kind of rallying the troops whenever necessary, is what I call my daily planner. Now, Sterling Ink has released something called a daily planner, which I do also have in my lineup, but I don't call it that, so I don't want to confuse you. This is the 2025 Sterling Ink Common Planner in the N1 size. It's the full year, and I have the vertical weeks version. So that's what I'm using as my main planner / daily planner. And I do have several videos all about how I use this type of planner system on my channel. I've been in this size as my main planner for 4 years now, maybe something like that. I don't know. I used to use a cut down Hobonichi Weeks, and then when Sterling Ink released this size planner, I started using this. So that's what I use as my daily planner. And if we were to keep with the kind of company theme, I'd say that this is the CEO. Chief Executive Officer, running all the things, just keeping it all together and making sure everyone's in their place and doing what they need to be doing. Next up, I mentioned the Sterling Ink Daily Planner. So I have that in this setup, and I do have a video all about how I have set up the daily planner for 2025. I do need to put together some videos once I start using it to kind of show you guys what it's looking like and how it's actually functioning. I find that type of information invaluable as it relates to seeing how others use planner systems for productivity in general. So if you want to see an in-depth view of all the things that I'm planning for this planner, definitely click on that video to see what's all we're doing in here. And this, if I were to classify it as an employee of the organization, is kind of like the operations manager. So this is the one that gets orders from the CEO and kind of does all the messy work, the behind the scenes work, to kind of figure out how it's going to make the company better. I feel like I'm getting way too deep into this business analogy. But anyway, so this is the, like I said, the Sterling Ink Daily Planner, and this is in the B6 size. I have the full year, which means there's a page dedicated to each day of the year. And I use this as a notebook. It's really like a glorified notebook. I have, since setting it up, realized that I feel like it's more of a workbook. It really does work. So I use it for messy notes, for scribbling some things out, for tracking how I'm using my time. It's just a mess of all sorts of things. Sometimes if I'm trying to organize some thoughts, and maybe I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to plan the next quarter in my business or something. I might use the pages in here sort of as scratch notes to figure out when I'm going to do what. And then once I've solidified that, I will transfer it into my business planner in some kind of concrete timeline kind of way. So this is where I do a lot of the work, the thinking and the brainstorming. So it is my workbook of sorts. So this is the second one in my lineup for 2025. And I don't know if this order is like an order of importance. I don't know, but they're all very important. The next one up is my health and fitness planner. I do have the video all about how I set this one up as well. I also have videos about how I've used my health and fitness planner in the previous years, so you can check that out. I am using this year the Sterling Ink Common Planner in the N2 size, which is a week size. I have it in the horizontal compact format. And you may notice I'm using a 2024, so I'm just redating for 2025. And in that video, I do show you how I'm redating it, what I'm using to redate. I'm also showing you the different spreads and trackers that I use for my health and fitness journal. Also how I've broken down the note section back in the back and what I'm using all of that for. So I do have a video going over all of those details. I would consider the health and fitness planner to be more like human resources. It's making sure the people, and I am the people, making sure the people are doing well in the organization, making sure we have all of those health and wellness things that we need so that we can be functional in our everyday jobs, making sure that along with that active work time, we also have some downtime. We're able to focus on overall health of the organization, me. So that is what the health and fitness journal does in my lineup, and it will definitely be here for 2025. Next up is my business planner. So I guess I kind of am going in some kind of order. For my business planner this year, I'm using the Wonderland 222, and this is the A5 size core planner with unstacked weekends. So I'm using this, and this is not the all-in-one version, so it doesn't have enough pages for each day, but there is an all-in-one version that includes like 365 plus notes pages in the back so that you could have all of your daily pages along with the weeklies. So this is the one I'm using for business, and you guessed it, there is a video up on my channel discussing all of the ways I plan to use these spreads and everything in this book for 2025. I will say I've been using the Take a Note Planner for 2024, and I have a couple of videos covering how I've used that for 2024 in conjunction with this business notebook. So if you would like to take a look at that video, you'll kind of see how I'm using my business planner, why I even use a business planner, like what I need it for, and all of the insides of what's going on in here. I did decide to switch from the Take a Note to the Wonderland 222 for 2025, and I do think it'll be a better fit for me for this purpose. So as soon as the year is over, I'll of course be taking this one out, popping this one in, and in conjunction with the business planner as well as the business notebook, that I should mention is an A5 stalogy. That's what I'm using here. And it has a lot of different notes, as you would imagine, that pertain to my businesses. So that is like a resource that I will always use from year to year to year. It is not date specific. So the dated portion for 2025 will be the Wonderland 222. And again, this is the A5 core planner. Unstacked weekends. So that's the one I'll use. And then I will also slip into that setup this A5 monthly booklet that I got from Sterling Ink. So the monthly booklet, as it is named, just has monthlies. And I'll use this for a portion of my business, which is my consulting. So there are things that I need to note on a daily basis as it relates to the consulting that I kind of tally later on, and I would like to see tallies for the entire year all in one spot. So that's what I'm going to use this A5 booklet for. This is also something that I will not need to archive. I will have all of this information in some kind of electronic format, at the end of the year, so this will likely get tossed. But I did want to have a place to write down this information for 2025. I was using something completely different for 2024, and though it worked just fine, I just felt like I needed even less, and that's where this one comes in. So these three components, the planner, the A5 booklet, along with the A5 stalogy, will make up my entire business planner for the year. So those, I would say, are like the four core or like main components of my planner system, of my whole entire planner structure. So that's my daily planner, which I also call my main planner, my workbook or like messy notebook that I'll be using, my health and fitness planner, as well as my business planner. So those are all, so that's the core of my planner system as a whole. Now, I also do have a few journals and just other things that I like to include in my planner system. These things sometimes go in and out of the system. Some things are new, but I like to consider them, in keeping with the business theme, the support staff. We couldn't do what we do around here without them. So I do feel like they are extremely important to what I do and how I keep it together over here. So I do have a journal, and this is where I write down personal thoughts and feelings of whatever's going on in my life at the moment. I have a video about this, maybe a couple of videos in 2024. It's really not that serious. There's nothing too in-depth about it. This is the Prada Travelers Company cover, collaboration cover, and that is the one I will likely be using for 2025 as well. That's not going to change, but there's really nothing too in-depth about how I use my journal. It's just a place where I can write down some thoughts and feelings and hash those out and think those through. Sometimes I do take a little bit of a break from journaling, not on purpose. It just kind of happens. We get distracted by daily life. And I always am reminded of how important it is to me. So I always like to factor it back in every now and again. 2025 will be no different. This will definitely be a component of my planner system. I should say my planner and journal system for the year. I do intend to circle back and do a few more journaling videos on my channel in the coming year as well. But I do have a few that I've done previously that you can find somewhere on my channel. Oh, the next one is something that I've been calling my Cozy Hobbies journal. And I did start filming a video all about the setup and what I'm doing with this. And I mentioned it in a previous video as well, that I'm now into just cozy hobbies. I'm now into hobbies, and I just like to call them cozy hobbies, okay? I'm into kind of hobbies, things that make me happy, things that I like to spend my downtime doing. And at the moment, I'm currently like making things through knitting and crochet. So I wanted a place that I could record the things that I'm making, details about all of that. So I felt like I needed a journal of sorts to do that in. So I just picked up this A5 Midori planner, and this is in the grid layout. I used it previously for something else, so I'm just gonna like clip off those pages and pretend like those don't exist and start using it in 2025 as my Cozy Hobbies journal. Actually, I've already started using it in 2024, but there will be more information coming, like a video specifically going over all the things that I have going on in here. But until then, it is a major component in my 2025 system. The next one, which I also did mention, I did a Hubman and Chub Girl unboxing, and I mentioned that I was going to use the things that I unboxed in that video to set up my language journal. So this is something that has been in the making for a couple of months because I am studying French with my daughter. We're both learning. So I decided to use my Travelers Company cover, the Tokyo edition that I got in 2024, and set that up as my language journal. And I do have 3 inserts in here that will help me do exactly that, will help me study languages in the coming year. And though it's not like date specific, this is, like I said, support staff. It adds to the things that I'm doing for personal development and just to make myself a better person as time goes on. And that's also something that this Cozy Hobbies journal does as well. In my life reset video, I mentioned that I wanted to focus on personal development a lot more. I wanted to focus my time on the things that bring me joy a lot more. So that's where these two fit in, and that's how they operate in my life. So now there are a couple more that can be considered that support staff category, and I don't think I have a video about this one at all on my channel. I will. I mean, maybe one day. It's not secret, but this is my travel journal. I think I mentioned it previously. Unfortunately, it hasn't been very active for 2024. I haven't really traveled many places, and that does disappoint me, but I'm hoping to make things different in 2025. But this is my travel journal. This is the Travelers Company Travelers Hotel cover that I'm using for that. And in here, I do have an insert where I'm kind of documenting vacations, and we're going back to, I think maybe 2020 in here. And it's set up like scrapbook kind of style. We've got photos. I have some spreads that I still need to write down some of the things. So that's what's in here. And then I've also used this for planning vacation. So for vacation planning, I'm big into vacation planning. I will always have a folder, an itinerary or something going, and that's where I would put into, or that's what I would put into this trifold folder thingy. Currently I just have the cover to one of the Traveler's Times in here, but if I had some like papers or pieces of information that I wanted to carry with me, I just stick it right into this folder. That's what goes in here. This last insert I used to document when I visited Stationery Fest this past summer. So I do have some information all about that. I don't have a video about that. I don't have a video about that. But one day maybe I'll flip through this. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe like a short, or like a, you know, a reel, like a shorter video. Because I just felt like it wasn't enough to do a full video on. But anyway, I intend to use this insert to document meetups and kind of things in the journaling and planner community that I might do. So I think that's a great idea. And this is the Yoseka Stationery insert, the Travelers Company collaboration insert. It's really pretty. So that's what that is for. And then this short trip insert that has nothing in it at the moment. My plan is to use this for my races. So my husband and I, from 2022 to 2024, ran a couple of half marathons, most of which we had to travel for. So that, I feel like, is part of my travel journal. And I do have all of those photos and plans for those spreads and everything. And I want to put that into this short trip insert. So that's not entirely done yet, obviously. But in my downtime, when I have time to sit down and kind of play in my planners and journal and all that stuff, that's when I will get around to updating that insert. So those are the things that comprise my traveler's journal. This one will also be around for 2025, and I'm really, really desperately hoping and praying that I'm able to add more travel memories to this journal as the year goes on. All right, the next one I have is a 5-year. So this is a Hobonichi 5-year. I am pretty sure I've talked about it before, and this is for the purposes of documenting fun things that happen in my family. The thing is, the last year for this is 2025. So I'm at the last year. There's some catching up I need to do for 2024. I also think some catching up I need to do for 2023. Catching up in the sense I need to, and that's what these little sticky notes are that are hanging out. I need to print a few photos and then stick them down on the days that I already wrote some things out for. So that's what I need to do as I go forward. I'm thinking I will make this more of a regular habit in 2025 so that I can finish out the book, so that I can make sure all of the days are filled up the way they should be, the way that I want them to be, and complete it in the way that I originally intended. But like I said, this is a lot of just like family memories. I wanted it to be something where we could put it on a bookshelf, and if any one of us wanted to see memories about, I don't know, that Cancun vacation we took, or the time we went to the Bahamas with like 15 people. Like, I want to have all of those memories in this one core place. Also memories about graduations or other family related items. That's what I'm using this for. This ends in 2025. I've thought about whether or not I wanted to continue it for 2026, like to buy a new one, and I'm on the fence about that. I do think I'll be doing like a 2024 recap, where I'm recapping all of the things that I had in my system for 2024 and talking about their future, talking about where they're going to end up. So this 5-year journal is also a part of my planner and journaling system for 2025. Oh, and then last but not least, also in the support staff section of the company is my companion planner. My companion planner, I do have a few videos going back a couple of years on how I use this in my system, what I use it for, what I put into it. It could also be considered sort of like a reference planner. Whatever. I'm just trying to think of other terms that people might use it for. I have used it for goals. I've used it for planning projects like home projects. I've used it for home management, a lot of miscellaneous stuff. I've used it for finances. So you can find videos on my channel about all of the ways that I've used the different sections in my companion planner. I will sadly have to say, though, that I didn't really use it for 2024 a whole lot. So I don't know if that means that she's retired. Is she officially retired from the company? I don't know. So there's a big question mark on the companion planner and how it fits in my system for 2025, if it will fit into my system for 2025. But I still felt in that support staff realm, it deserves a bit of an honorable mention just the same. Oh, and one that I cannot forget to mention is my faith journal. So this is like my faith planner / journal. I have a detailed video all about how I set this one up, how things are going, but this will definitely come with me into 2025 and be an integral part of my lineup. I do intend to kind of spruce up this cover, because we talked about this in the previous video, as well as add a bit more pizzazz. I think that's on the list of things to do, and I'm really looking forward to doing that over like the Christmas holiday break when I have some downtime. So I will be filming that, but this is coming with me into 2025, and this is where I write down like Bible study notes, any kind of Bible reading plans that I might have going on. I do also have my prayer journal inside of here, so it's a lot of components that are important to my life, important to me keeping it together, that I like to have inside of this faith journal, as I call it. All right, so those are all of the things that I have planned for my 2025 planner and journal lineup. I always feel like it sounds like a lot. I think it is a lot. I do also think it's important for people to realize that I'm not using all of these every single day. Everything has its own place. I am also the type of person that likes to compartmentalize things, so I'm not putting work inside of my daily planner. For health and fitness, for instance, like when I have like a training plan for something, I'm not putting that into my daily planner. I could, but it could also drive me crazy if I did, so I will not. That's why I have all of these separate planners and separate journals and places to put things, because that's how my mind functions best. So those are all the pieces and parts of my 2025 planner and journal lineup. Again, I'll have any of the setup videos that I've already done linked down below. There will be more to come if I don't have a video yet. So definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss those videos, and head over to my channel so you can see any of the previous videos. I will try to have them linked down below and up in the cards for you as well. Thank you so much for following along on today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.